We see an update today from TMZ that allegedly they believe the grand jury is gonna charge David with murder. Oh my God, they're gonna indict him with murder of Celeste. Which a lot of us are like, we've been thought this the whole time. Yes, but still, if you track the timeline, from them finding the body in his trunk, crazy. I didn't even know who he was at the time. I heard of romantic homicide, I believe, maybe once, maybe twice. I'm not the biggest into like the TikTok charts. But again, he was a huge sensation. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a whole new artist. What's going on? Body, the guy's on tour. It was crazy to me.
Los Angeles police investigating how a badly decomposed body ended up inside the trunk of an impounded Tesla. Chopper video showing detectives on scene at the Hollywood tow lot after receiving a call concerning a foul odor coming from a vehicle. Police say the car had been at the lot for a couple of days. When asked about reports the vehicle is registered to 20-year-old singer David, a spokesperson for the singer told NBC News David has been informed about what's happened, and although he is still out on tour, he is fully cooperating with authorities.
We don't know who the victim is yet. We haven't even made a partial identification, let alone a positive identification.
Then his house getting raided. If you guys remember, all the feds outside, Fox News flying over his house in helicopters. Crazy. He even ended up leaving that house because fans were walking around trying to find clues and stuff as well.
Teenage girl missing for more than a year. Well, tonight, investigators are now at the home where that singer had been staying, removing several items. And here's Trevor Ault.
Tonight, law enforcement sources say the LAPD spent hours searching the Hollywood Hills home of star singer David after they say the remains of a missing teen girl were found inside the performer's Tesla. Detectives removing multiple items from the home overnight, including a computer. Police say the Tesla had been abandoned not far from there.
It's a little weird to see a car that I haven't seen here for a long time. Had a big dent on it, had a Texas plate on it, so all a little odd.
On Wednesday, the LA medical examiner announced the remains in the Tesla's front trunk belonged to Celeste Rivas. This image confirmed as her by police. She went missing from this Southern California neighborhood more than a year ago when she was just 13. The medical examiner is now trying to determine her cause and time of death, saying Rivas had a tattoo on her right index finger reading shh. And while that tattoo is not uncommon, photos appear to show David with a similar tattoo on his finger. The singer's not been charged with any crime and has not made any comments so far. Tonight, David's scheduled performance at the Grammy Museum next week has been removed from the site. It comes hours after a Seattle concert was also abruptly canceled.
And law enforcement sources say much of this case hinges on the medical examiner determining a cause of death. But given the state of the body, that is proving to be quite difficult. David.
All right, Trevor Ault tonight.
But he's urgently looking for clues in the death of Celeste Rivas, a 15-year-old girl who went missing more than a year ago. Her remains found inside a Tesla registered to the critically acclaimed singer, David. Investigators executing a search warrant at the home rented by the 20-year-old singer in the Hollywood Hills. Officers seen removing several items, including a computer, according to authorities.
To then us seeing online, oh, never mind. David's not looked at as a suspect at all. I'm like, what? Hold on. An underage girl's body was found in his trunk or frunk of the Tesla. I think it was the trunk or the frunk. And he's not a suspect. Like, he should not even brought in for questioning. His team is working. No, hold on. Because if we did anything like this, they would have had you hung by your feet like back in the day how the bullies used to shake you out of coins until you would have said the truth. Now they're saying that he's not a suspect. What? I'm like, I kept telling everybody, that's cap. I refuse to believe it. I don't care what anyone says. They kept telling me, yeah, no, he's not a suspect. That's cool. How quickly did that change? How quickly did that change? So then we're hearing, oh, no. David is a suspect. Yeah, as I knew.
Next TMZ Live, the grand jury that is looking into the David case is not just investigating. Their aim is to indict him, and it could be coming soon.
To the point that we even hear his old manager, executive over at the label, Robert, I forgot his last name, it started with an M. But one thing I won't forget is his statement. When he goes to the hallway and people overheard him saying, yo, they wanted to know why I didn't call the cops. I said, because I wanted the tour to continue. You wanted the tour to continue. What was you questioned about? What was brought up that they thought you should have called the police? Allegedly, there was supposed to be an arrest happening of a woman, of a female. That never happened to my knowledge, unless something that you guys know. I've been keeping my eyes on. I've been trying to see who it was or who it was gonna be. Still, no one has been arrested. Maybe they changed their mind and they started cooperating.
Someone who is about to get arrested in the case involving the death of Celeste Rivas, and it is not David. The singer David, who the LAPD and the LA County DA says in a suspect in what they believe is the murder of Celeste Rivas. His name is Robert Morgenroth. Robert Morgenroth is the head of Mogul Vision, which is the label for David. But more than just the executive, the general manager, he is a manager. He manages David. And he is involved in David's day-to-day life and clearly knows a lot. So on Monday, Morgan Roth was in the hallway with his lawyer, and there were people around, and they weren't sitting or standing right next to them, but the hallway echoes. And it was clear to people around there that there was a conversation that Morgan Roth was having with his lawyer. And he was recounting what happened inside the grand jury room with the prosecutor in the case. The prosecutor, Beth Silverman, according to Morgan Roth, here's what he said. She was very pushy on why I didn't call police. And then he went on to say that he said, in response to that he said, quote, I feel like I didn't have the responsibility to do that and just wanted to continue with the tour. Now, we do not know the context of this, but when the DA is grilling him about not calling the police, that has to involve a crime.
But it's getting closer now to the grand jury's gonna actually have to make a decision, and the prosecutor as well, if they believe David played a role in Celeste's murder. And with all the different evidence we've heard, all the different theories, his weird friends, him bringing caskets to the concerts, like, I just don't see who else to point a finger to. At least if he's brought in, can he indict, can he snitch on everybody else? Like, it's just, there has to be more to this. With us hearing his love for gore on the Discord and showing people pictures like that, to them even making fun of him for having Celeste as a younger girlfriend, allegedly. This is all alleged. This is all personal opinion, things that I've seen online. But just from what we've seen on the Reddit, all the different evidence, to think that he's scot-free and he didn't have anything to do with this is just impossible for me to believe it. I just refuse. But TMZ does put an update today. We get a new article that gives more information on why they believe David will be indicted with murder. Oh my God. Yo, he has the most time. Like, just know he's probably catching up on all the Fortnite games he's gonna get in for the next lifetime. Like, he's probably playing Fortnite 24 hours a day. They gotta keep him on watch to make sure, one, he don't leave the country, two, he don't leave this planet, he don't leave Earth, if you guys know what I mean. A dude that fragile with painted nails and so emo and goth, I don't see him doing hard time in like California prison. The update we see is David likely to be indicted in Celeste Rivas' murder by TMZ. Singer David will likely face murder charges for the death of Celeste Rivas, and that's because the grand jury that's hearing the case will be asked to hand down an indictment, sources tell TMZ. There was a report last month that the grand jury was an investigative grand jury, a grand jury that helps authorities gather evidence, but one that does not indict. An investigative grand jury can be useful to subpoena and then enforce uncooperative witnesses to testify. Our sources say, however, the grand jury that has been hearing witnesses in the Celeste murder is actually one that will vote on indictments. And multiple sources tell TMZ that authorities, including the prosecutor Beth Silverman, believe David was involved in the death of Celeste Rivas. TMZ broke the story early this month. David's day-to-day manager, Robert Morgroff, testified for days. A TMZ reporter heard him tell his lawyer in the courtroom hallway Silverman was very pushy as to why he didn't call the police. He said he responded by saying it wasn't his responsibility and his job was to make sure David's tour kept going. We see the picture of Robert right here. Grand juries generally do what prosecutors want. In no small part because the target is the case, David has no right to present a defense. There was also talk in the courtroom hallway the grand jury could hear witness in February, so don't expect a quick indictment. This is crazy. We've heard the private investigator also share about the burner that was found in David's house when they looked through it. Like, why would there be a burner that can go up to 1600 degrees? Again, it's commercially marketed to go up to 1600 degrees. Do we know that for a fact? We do not. But he also shares that average human cremation happens at 1400 degrees. Also, the body was dismembered allegedly and broken down into pieces. Was that to throw in the burner? Oh, it gets me nauseous just thinking about it. That's gross. I got a weak stomach. Different chemicals found in the house that could actually take away traces of DNA and blood as well. This is all alleged. This is stuff that I'm reading online. We gotta clear our name.
For weeks, we've been wondering just what it was that a private investigator named Steve Fisher found inside David's home when he was given access last October. The PI reported seeing, quote, items you would expect to find on a farm rather than in a home in the Hollywood Hills. And today, we are learning about one of those items. Steve Fisher has confirmed it was something called a burn cage. Take a look at your screen. That's what a burn cage looks like. It's used usually on farms to incinerate waste and debris, but lots of private homes have them as well. This particular model can apparently get up to a whopping 1,600 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 200 degrees hotter than the temperature required to burn human bones. And this is the photograph Steve took of that burn device, the burn cage inside David's home. He noted that these types of incinerators are illegal in LA County, and that even if it were a prop, say used for a music video, still doesn't seem to be much of a reason for it to be delivered to his home.
But it makes you think, how in the heck was he not involved at all? Also, the Tesla was moved throughout the neighborhood. The car was being moved. It's not like the car stood in the same spot until it was towed. No, the car was being moved. Was it being moved by David until he went on tour? Was it being moved by his friend Neo? Was it being moved by his manager? Was it being moved by one of his friends in the house? We do not know. But I believe when this trial starts, a lot of questions will be answered. A lot of questions. Any more information we hear about this or we get as an update, you guys know I will definitely update you guys soon. But don't expect nothing overnight like they're saying. They're still expecting more witnesses in February. We're still in the end of December. We'll be in January in like 2 days. So we probably won't see any indictment until like the end of winter. End of winter, early, probably spring. This is crazy. Is he still gonna even be in this country? Is he still gonna even be on this earth? I don't want nothing to happen to him bad because again, at the end of the day, not that I feel bad for him if he did anything to a child, which I do feel like he did something. He definitely deserves his time in jail. But I just mean I don't want him to take the coward way out and actually have to stand in front of that judge and talk for the crimes that he did. We see that his mom is still part of his life and everything. As remember, there was a fake call that was made. We talked about that weeks ago, about a month ago now, when the police show up to his mother's house.
I'll wide and keep you covered. You want to tap the door? Just wait for me, because I'm going to keep you covered. Go ahead. I got you covered. Come right here. There's too many windows. Here, knock on the door. We got a phone call from here saying that somebody was dead. Is there somebody else that lives on this property that has your address? What's your address? That's it. That's it. That's what I actually got. We got an address. There was a gunshot and a woman screamed. What? I'm serious. That's why we came up here like this, because and then they talked to the caller. Whoever they were talking to said that there's a person dead. No, sir. No, sir. Knock on the door. We need to talk to him. We ain't got time for this.
Ma'am, we gotta figure out what's going on so we can leave, okay?
Very advised. We made contact. They said no.
When a crime like this is done, no one can protect you. No one can protect you. This is a day you will have to testify or at least share your defense. That's something that I really want to hear. If he pleads not guilty, what the hell is David's defense? That's all I want to know. What will his defense team share that proves he has nothing to do with this? We shall see. Sub up, sub up. We're on that road to 20,000 subscribers.